Hey everyone, I hope y'all are having a great day. I have to film this super fast because the sun is literally setting. And also the reading rush starts tonight at midnight, so I have a very strict deadline. If you don't know, the reading rush, previously known as BookTubeathon, is a week-long readathon that is hosted every year, or maybe biannually. Honestly, I have no idea. By Ariel Bissett and Raylene. I haven't participated in a BookTubeathon, now the reading rush, in years. Quite literally years. And this year is really not the year to start because I'm very busy this week, but I'm gonna try anyway, just like peripherally. I'm not gonna give it my all because this is the last week that my best friend is gonna be in Nashville, like forever. So at the end of this week, I'm gonna be saying goodbye to her indefinitely, which is really, really scary and really, really sad. But as a result, I'm gonna be trying to spend as much time as I can with her this week, obviously. And also, this is the week that a lot of my secondary essays are gonna be pouring in. That's a med school thing, I don't know. But basically, I'm gonna have to devote a lot of my time to writing essays and sending those in. So I really don't have a bunch of time to be reading, but still, you know, in the spirit of things, I'm gonna make a couple of videos along the way because why not? So this year, the reading rush is like very updated and like refreshed, and there's a lot of fun things happening. Apparently there's a website where you can like sign up, earn badges, whatever. I will not be doing any of those things because it sounds like a lot of work, and honestly, I'm just trying to put in like as little effort as possible, which is usually not my motto for things, but in this case, it's just it's how it's gonna be. Sorry to say, but it's the truth. But anyway, let's get into the books. I have a very ambitious TBR, and it's quite literally just a list of all the books that I need to read by August. Like, need to read. So I'm gonna start with what I'm currently reading. I'm currently reading Homegoing by Ya Jessie, I think is how you say her name, but if you know and you know I'm wrong, please correct me in the comments. I'd love to be educated. Homegoing has gotten a ton of buzz. It's a really interesting book. It's about two half-sisters and also their entire lineages for like 8 generations, and one sister stays in Africa and the other is shipped off in the slave trade to America. It's been talked about a lot. It's gotten a lot of praise, a lot of acclaim. The blurb on the front is from Ta-Nehisi Coates, and I just read his book. I would recommend it. It's pretty interesting. I've actually already read a chapter of this, and I think it's so interesting, and I have obviously a physical copy of it, but also the audiobook from the library, so I'm going to be doing like a little bit of a double agent action. I have to read this book for one of my scholarship book clubs, and it honestly is so interesting so far, so I'm really excited to finish it. Next, like I said, aforementioned best friend is leaving Nashville this week, but I borrowed this book, The House on Mango Street by Sandra Cisneros, from her ages ago. I have no idea how long I've had this, but I've had it for so long, which is just really embarrassing because it's a really, really thin book. And like I said, she's leaving at the end of this week, so I literally only have this week to read this copy before I have to give it back and also say goodbye. But when I don't have a physical copy of it, I have no incentive to finally read this book after hearing about it for years. And despite its popularity and the fact that I know that it's a really like almost of a modern classic, I actually have no idea what this book is about. And I think it's middle grade, but honestly, I'm not really sure. I think I'm gonna put this second on my priority list of my TBR, not because it sounds particularly interesting. Like I said, I don't know what it's about, but seriously because I only have this week to read it. So, House on Mango Street, if you love this book, let me know so I can get excited to read it. Next, let's talk about Make Your Home Among Strangers by Janine Capot-Crusette, ? I think this is about a girl, a daughter of Cuban immigrants from Florida, I want to say, and she goes to a really prestigious university, and I think she's like a first-generation student, so no one in her family has gone to college before. It's a lot about identity and how she feels super foreign in this really elite environment. It really gives me Breathe from In the Heights vibes, and I love that song, and I've heard really good things about this book. This is for a different book club that I'm a part of that I have to read by August, and I'm excited because it sounds really, really good. I love books about college. I love books about identity, so I think it's gonna be a good one. Next, I have Jonathan Livingston Seagull by Richard Bach. I have no idea what this one's about. It's super thin. This is another book that I have to read for a book club. Luckily, it's very, very short, which is great for a readathon. But yeah, truly no clue what the content is, but I know that it's good because my scholarship director who helped pick this book out for the book club said that this is a book that everybody should read in their life. And so I'm really happy to read it, and I will eventually, but will it be this week? Honestly, probably not, but just letting you know, I gotta read this book, so let me know if you liked it. And then finally, this book honestly should be my top priority because this is a book that I legitimately have to read, no exceptions, and it's The Lies That Bind, Rethinking Identity by Kwame and Anthony Appiah. It's nonfiction. I think the subtitle, Rethinking Identity, describes the book pretty well. It's about all different forms of identity, all the different ways that we categorize humans, and whether those categorizations are helpful or false, things like that. It should be interesting, but I just can't get myself to pick it up and be excited about it, but this is a book that I have to read because it's the Commons reading this year for Vanderbilt University, and as a Viewceptor, this is an irrelevant explanation. Basically, I have to read it for one of my roles, and I think it'd be good, and I think that I would enjoy it, but you know, compared to fiction, I never really choose nonfiction. But yes, this should be a higher priority than it is. I'm gonna bet that I'm not gonna read this week. So these are the books that I'm gonna try to read during this readathon for this week. It's so unrealistic. This is 5 books. 5 books. I read 5 books in a year. There's absolutely no way I can read 5 books in a week, especially a week like this one. But you know, these are books that I'm gonna have to read by August. So we'll see how that goes. Like I said, I'm participating in this readathon super peripherally. I'm not prioritizing it at all. I'm gonna read as much as I can, sure, but I also have a lot of other things that I need to do, which sounds really dumb. Everyone has other things that they need to do, but yeah, it's just not gonna be my priority this week. That being said, hopefully I can at least finish 2 books. 2 would be a really great deal, so I could finish Homegoing and then read House on Mango Street before having to return it. I know that there are 7 challenges that you can achieve during this readathon that Ariel and Raylene have set up. I'm not going for any of the challenges. If any of these books happen to fit any of those categories, then like, yay, good for me, but they're not something that I'm actively pursuing. I'm definitely not in the position right now to be like picking books for a TBR solely because they fit a challenge. These are books that I just actually have to read. I feel like this is kind of a boring TBR. None of it is YA, which is really surprising, but they all are books that I think are really interesting, and I think I would enjoy them all to an extent, and I'm gonna have to read them all eventually. It's just a matter of whether that's gonna happen this week. But yes, this is my Reading Rush TBR. If you are participating in the Reading Rush, let me know what your most anticipated book this week is, or what challenge you're most excited to complete, or if you're just gonna read, you know, as much as you can without really prioritizing the reading rush like I am. Let me know so that we can bond over our lack of ambition. Just kidding, it's not lack of ambition, it's just bad timing. But yes, the sun is literally disappearing right before my eyes. So time to wrap this up. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you'll have a fantastic day, and regardless of whether you're participating in this readathon or not, happy reading. Bye!